Child's Play 2019, a remake of the 1980s horror classic films. But how did it turn out? Let's see. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for Child's Play 2019. I really do appreciate it. Now, when this film was first announced, to be honest with you guys, I was excited. And the reason why that's a big deal to me, if you know me, I grew up as a scary cat, not really catering to the horror classic films. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I was scared, and I haven't seen any of the Child's Play movies except for part one. I did see bits and pieces of it here and there. I had never watched the whole thing through, but with this remake, Child's Play 2019, this is the 8th film in this franchise, even though this is a remake, so I'm going in this thing kind of fresh. Now, I do know that the old doll Chucky was possessed by some type of evil serial killer spirit, and I really do like that idea, but in this remake, they wanted to go a different direction. Now, the director for this film is Mr. Lars Klifberg. I've never heard of him before. Prior to this, he did direct a movie called Polaroid, which is a horror film. It actually came out this year, and I haven't seen that. But as far as his filmography is concerned, he's somewhat fresh in the game, but that's okay. But this film right here, it doesn't take Chucky and have the evil possessed serial killer spirit from the original 1980s, 1990s series. This Chucky right here relates to this, modern day, this modern age, to where everything is streaming on the internet and we have Wi-Fi connections and all of our devices control us. And that is the thing that is driving the Chucky doll. And one of the things that did get me on board initially going into this film. So let's talk about the good. I really did like the voice of Chucky, played by Mark Hamill. Of course, we know him as Luke Skywalker in The Joker in the animated Batman series. I think he did a great job. Some people complained, just saying that he sounds too much like Joker. In my opinion, I was not able to tie the two together. He sounded, I knew it was Mark Hamill, but he sounded like his own person. He sounded like the Chucky doll. The next thing that I liked in this film is the relationship that Andy had with his mother, played by Aubrey Plaza. And Andy is being played by Mr. Gabriel Bateman. Never seen him before. He's probably popped up in a few things here and there. But I do like the casting. Initially, I did really like Andy in this film. Also, he really got me interested, especially in the trailers, when he's like, there's something wrong with Chucky. But, their relationship and everything that they have going back and forth is not perfect. And I'm not saying that I agree with every situation that they were in. But at the same time, I do like it because it did feel real and it did feel genuine. The next thing that I liked in this film is the casting by Mr. Brian Tyree Henry. He's a cop. He's a detective. He was funny in this film. I'm a big fan of this guy. He popped on the scene for me in Atlanta. And I've been a fan of his work ever since. And, he was just another character that I really did like in this film. Well, guys, that sums up all the good that I liked in this movie. If it wasn't obvious to you already, I was not a fan of this movie at all. It was a big disappointment because while I didn't go in with high expectations, I did go in wanting to see something thrilling, and I did not get that at all. First thing I did not like is just Chucky himself. His face is ugly as hell. Like, what is wrong with the designers when they came up with this face? He is ugly, and Chucky, the doll, the buddy doll, is in this film supposed to be sold to children around the world, or around the country, by some company by the name of Caslin or Capslin or something like that. And he's just ugly as hell. Like, this is not cute at all. This doll is supposed to be your best friend, but how can he be your best friend when you don't want to look at him longer than 5 seconds? His face literally looks like an ass. I am not exaggerating. I really do feel that way. Seriously, his face looks like an ass. Or imagine his face was just smashed against an ass for like 5 years straight, and then you popped it off. That's how his face looks. I don't understand the design of Chucky in this film. I think they did a horrible job there, and they should be ashamed of themselves. The next thing that really rubbed me the wrong way in this film is the way Chucky was named. It just came out of nowhere. Even though I am not just like a diehard fan of this franchise or anything that came in the past, I wanted it to have some type of meaning. And when I didn't get that, it was just a little bit disappointing. Also, I did not like Andy in this film. I felt that his attachment to this doll was too strong, based off of nothing. The film really didn't do a good job, in my opinion, of telling you how much time had passed while Andy got the doll until the very end, because you're supposed to believe that they have some type of relationship. And when the crap hits the fan, when Andy realizes that, oh my goodness, my dog Chucky is going around killing people, you know, they want you to believe like it's going to be hard for Andy to be able to, you know, cut his head off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? First of all, that shouldn't be a difficult decision at all. If he's going around murdering people, that should just be easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to kill a loved one or a family member, but if they're just going around mowing down people and the only way to stop them is to kill them, I'm going to do what I have to do. But at the same time, you know, I am going to be remorseful and things like that because, you know, that's my love, that's my family or whatever, or anyone close to me. But there is no relationship here. We have a few scenes with Andy and Chucky that they're doing this here and they're doing this in the hallway, but it's nothing significant. It's nothing long lasting. It's nothing that I can relate to. Like, man, I remember when I had a relationship with my toy or action figure back in the day. I mean, so there just comes the point where Andy has to, like, you know, get rid of Chucky, and he hesitates, and that just really I'm like, dude, what is going on? What is wrong with you? Now, they had another character in the film that addressed that, and I was like, okay, my goodness gracious, at least somebody has a brain in this movie. But I don't know what the hell was wrong with Andy. I mean, he was just making dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. I want to talk about more about Andy, but I can't talk about that without spoiling it. Right after this video, I'm going to be making an ending explain / spoiler review of this film, so you can check that out and I can dive a little bit deeper. But Andy was a goddamn fool in this film. I mean, he was just moronic. I mean, I just did not understand what was going on with him. Now, while I also did enjoy the concept of this film, that it's been, you know, Chucky, the buddy doll, you know, has control over the internet. You know, it's kind of set up as an app, and it can do just here and there things like that. But the dang doll just had too much control over too much in this film to where it just got exhausting and just completely unrealistic. I mean, this is a film about a dog killing people. So you can probably say, Brandon, how realistic do you think this film is going to be? But I'm talking about realistic as in the things that we know today as, you know, common sense logic. No company in the world is going to program something to do what this doll or this app could do. I mean, there's just too many things that could go wrong. I mean, like, seriously, you guys would be, you know, sued trillions of dollars, not billions, but trillions of dollars about all the chaos and mayhem that could possibly go on. And I can't talk about it that much because, you know, it would spoil the film, but it's just like frustrating how ridiculous some of these plot threads are in this film. I also did not like what they did with the black lady in this film. I just think it was completely over the top. I think a majority of the supporting cast, I mean, you had this one guy in here that was a pervert. I think that was just a little bit over the top and stereotypical. You had another guy that was the stereotypical stepfather that's mean to the stepchild, and it was all bland. And then you had this black lady in the film that they just treated like she was just dumb as a doorknob. Oh, is this a telephone? Is this the door? Oh. I mean, it was just like, really, why are y'all doing her like that? You know, I mean, and there was more that they did with her character that I did not like, you know, but I don't want to spoil the film for you. And it's just making me think, like, man, if you've seen the film, like the way Andy gets along with, like, you know what he was trying to do, that's just dumb. Like, why would you do that? I can't wait to talk about it in my ending explain video. Now, while I am trash bagging on this film, I will admit that some of the kills were a little interesting, and it did give me just like, oh my gosh, cover my face. But at the same time, this film did not do a good enough job of giving me a valid reason on why the Chucky buddy doll went from this doll of that's supposed to be your innocent best friend to a murdering psychopath. I see where they was trying to go with it, but just too much in this film did not make sense to me, guys, and I really just did not enjoy it that much. If I had to rate Child's Play, this remake of 2019, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. Yes, a 4 out of 10. Guys, that is just my opinion. What do you think about Child's Play? Have you seen it or do you want to see it? Please let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, please consider subscribing and look me up on social media. But guys, I just want to thank you again for tuning into my opinion / review for Child's Play 2019. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.